connect with my colleague on the phone lines right about now. Christopher Marco is our 3FM Northern Regional Correspondent. Chris, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ellen.
Great to hear your voice. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great.
All right, and I hope the weekend was somewhat restful.
Well, I must say it was, but for the similar incident.
Very sad indeed. And what exactly can you tell us? We have some scanty details, but what really transpired?
Okay, so you know that in recent past, when it comes to festivals in the northern parts of the country, it is mostly characterized by the firing of musketry. Now, it used to be gunpowder, but now the people have resorted to using some sophisticated weapons during the festivities. Even though there have been cautions from traditional authorities and security agencies, at least for them to limit the use of these arms during these festivals. Unfortunately, some who participate in these festivals tend deaf ear to be cautious. So the Fire Festival is one of the festivals celebrated by the people of the North. First of all, in Gabon, it is the first month of the traditional calendar. And so it is also believed that historically the chief lost the sun. The sun had gone out and didn't return. And so by sunset, they organized for the chief's son, and they had to lit torches made of grass. And so during this period, you see them in the amulets, you see them showing some magic and some sort of juju in this celebration. So on Saturday,
right. And Chris, I beg your pardon, I just wanted some clarification on who exactly celebrates this fire festival. Where exactly was this being celebrated at?
Okay, so it's every community in the northern part of the country, from northern, savannah, northeast, upper east, upper west.
All the various regions, they celebrate the fire. I see.
Yes. Yeah, so
is this a religious festival? Is this what are the origins of the fire festival? Because you mentioned it's widely celebrated in these parts.
Okay, so there are two schools of thought. And if you link them, you will know that because the people of the North associate themselves with the Islamic religion. First of all, Islamically, it is believed that, the Noah's Ark, it is celebrated to mark the landing, the safe and successful landing of Noah's Ark. That is religiously. Traditionally, like I mentioned earlier, it is celebrated because it is believed that a chief's son went missing, and the community went to look for the sun. And
right.
So traditionally, that is the understanding as to why they celebrate the Fire of Bugum festival.
All right.
So all the people in the northern parts of the country celebrate this festival. All
right. Thank you for that, Chris, for that foundation. I was trying to pin down exactly the origins, if we could find out, and where exactly it is celebrated. In this particular instance, we know that this was in the Nanumba North municipality of the northern region. I also wanted to find out from you, Christopher, and let me also very quickly acknowledge on the phone lines with us this morning, we do have Dr. Adam Bona, Acting Executive Secretary, National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. Doc, thank you for your time this morning. Good morning.
Thank you, and good morning, Ellen.
All right.
Good morning to your listeners.
Thank you for that. And Doc, I'll come to you in just a jiffy. Christopher, back to you as well. I wanted to find out how the communities perceive the use, or at least the community that you have gone to speak to, how they perceive the use of firearms during festivals in general.
In general, the people are not happy because this is not the first time we are recording a fatality during this festive occasion. Every year, for the past 2 decades, I must say that every year we record some fatalities. Some die, others get maimed for life. and so it's not something new. But every year there is this caution to the youth by the traditional authorities, by the security agencies, not to use these firearms with live ammunition. Unfortunately, some of the people defy this caution and come out with the firearms. This year, for instance, the people of Tamale and Sanario did not actually participate in the fire festival because there was a caution and, in fact, a statement from the Biwa Palace, from the Yana himself, directing the security agencies and the traditional authorities in the Greater Tamale Metropolis and the Sanario municipality not to allow the celebration of the fire festival. And this would not happen. But even though other places there were these cautions of people not going out with this weapons with live ammunition, the youth actually defied it. And I must say that in Bimbila, one death was recorded. In Salaga, in the Savannah region, some 2 persons are battling for their lives as we speak as a result of gunshot injury.
Right. Christopher, hold the line for me very quickly. Let me engage Dr. Adam Bona. And Doc, again, good morning to you. I want to find out how effective are current regulations in preventing unlicensed firearms from being used at public gatherings and festivals?
Ellen, I can say with certainty that what we are doing at the moment as a country is attempting to enforce without proper regulations. The regulation we have, or the laws we have, are over 50 years old. If you have laws governing firearms, which is more than 50 years old, then you know that you definitely would have a lot of gaps. I mean, when these laws was promulgated, we didn't actually have all these 3D weapons. We knowledge and in making improvised what do you call it, explosive devices was not that available, accessible. Today, just by the click of a tap or a link on the internet, you will be able to know how to make IED, an explosive, weapon. And so we have advocated, and my commission, I've been part of the commission for over 10 years, and the commission, we put together a bill that was sponsored by the European Union, the American government, the German government, the UNDP, call them the UNODC, and all ECOWAS, AU, all of them see Ghana as a place where, or a country where we are able to regulate weapons effectively. The Sahel and other neighboring countries would be a bit better. But these laws, the bill, as I will call it, as we drafted it, I pushed and pushed and pushed. I mean, I remember I was designated to get it passed. So I pushed through the then Minister Ambrose and the rest, but the bill was never passed into law. And this is what is culminating into the use of illicit weapons by people. Today, before this incident, my office, we issued out a statement cautioning that those who want to be part of the celebration, we don't have the power to stop anyone from celebrating.
Right.
But those who want to do it shouldn't use live ammo. Unfortunately, because they know that you can only attempt to enforce, but you don't have any backing of any proper law. People went out there doing what they want to do. You know what happened at the Babu Ulamos Palace recently? At the Babu Ulamos Palace, where a queen mother was shot.
That's right.
On live viewing.
That's
live
right.
Social media viewing. The lady was shot and killed. Okay? You talk about what do you call that? The incident that led to the shooting of this young girl in Ashanti region. Weapons have been seized that were in the hands of children in secondary schools. Why? Because you see, the sanctions for those who possess these weapons, be they legal or illegal, using them to perpetuate certain act of illegality is not so punitive. And so mine is that without proper regulation, we are fighting a losing battle. But fortunately, I want to say that I'm not just saying, lamenting, but something has been done. My minister, Honorable Mutaka Mubarak, the bill is currently at his secretary, at the ministry,
right,
is undergoing review. And so, plus, minus, we could have it passed, hopefully, in the next month or two. And also to say that coincidentally, I have also been appointed by the UN Arms Trade Treaty as the chairman of the Diversion Information Exchange Forum, which is an international, a very important position within the UN Arms.
Congratulations. How recent is this appointment?
Oh, I think about a month ago.
Oh, congratulations, Doc. Yes.
Yeah, so it even makes our situation a bit bad because everybody has, the whole world is watching Ghana.
Certainly.
That's okay, you have one of your own sons who is now chairing the Diversion Information Forum at the ATT level, at the UN level. So it means that we need to do a lot more in ensuring that our own domesticated laws are effective, because we've signed a lot of treaties. And my commission, the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission,
right,
is the implementer of all treaties that have to do with firearms in this country. We are supposed to see to its implementation. But unfortunately, we have not adequately domesticated these laws. But fortunately, my minister is at it, effectively pushing to get it, the bill passed. Once it is passed, I want to believe that this conversation, because you see, we can only attempt to do advocacy, and try to see with the limited power enforce together with the police and other agencies.
Right.
But, when enforcing becomes too costly, because you catch the guy, you take him to court, then the guy is only given a fine. I mean, the guy is holding.
You say it's just not punitive enough.
What the law is saying. So the of the fine is usually stronger than the option of custodial sentence.
Apologies, Doc. We seem to be losing you on the line, but you've answered all the questions that I had listed for you in this regard. So a very big thank you then to Dr. Adam Bona, Acting Executive Secretary, National Commissions on Small Arms and Light Weapons. Unfortunately, we lost him right at the end, but he answered all our questions. Let me end now with Christopher Amarco. And Chris, are you still on the line?
Yes, I'm still on the line.
All right, fantastic. Wrapping up on this particular issue, have you faced any challenges as you have sought to report this particular incident? I know that it's sometimes quite sensitive to report on shootings that happen at festivals and the like. Any issues there?
Yes, so the good news is that the community, when I say the community, the people of the North, where I report from, are against the use of live ammunition during these celebrations. They have in recent times called on the relevant security agencies to also ensure that during such festivities, people who come with these ammunition are asked to either go back and not be part of the procession, or they even pick them up to provide licenses for the weapons.
Right.
And so there hasn't been any such challenge in the reportage. The only thing is that people are afraid to, as it were, in the case of Bimbila, to mention the name of the person who actually perpetrated this crime, because even though people know him, they are unwilling to volunteer information to the police so that they can also continue with their investigation.
Christopher, thank you so much for your time this morning and for giving us an update on this unfortunate incident. I'm sure in due course we will be getting into that. All right. Christopher Marco is our Northern Regional Correspondent on